Quick note before we start. ConductorOSS.com works with all coding agents in the current setup, and it runs fully local. Now let's break down what Atomic Chat is actually proving in this Hermes demo. This Atomic Chat post is built like a credibility ladder. It does not begin with hype. It begins with a machine. MacBook Air, M4, 16 gigs of RAM. That first move matters because local AI claims usually die on the hardware question. If viewers think the setup only works on some absurd workstation, the rest of the clip loses its punch. Atomic solves that immediately by anchoring the demo to consumer hardware. Then it moves into the product itself. You see the local interface. You see the local API server start. And only after that does it go into the Hermes setup flow. That sequencing is smart. It says this is not just a benchmark, and it is not just a pretty desktop shell. It is a usable local stack. The middle of the clip is where the product earns most of its credibility. We watch Hermes install, configure, and expose actual settings instead of hiding everything behind a glossy one-click promise. Compression threshold, session reset policy, inactivity timeout, daily reset hour, even optional Telegram setup. Those screens are important because they tell you this thing is trying to be a real agent environment, not just a demo toy. And then the payoff lands exactly where it should. The user asks Hermes to create a folder on the desktop, and the agent prepares the terminal action and runs them clear path. It is a small example, but it is the right example. The clip stops being a chatbot reel and becomes an agent reel. Now the site and repo fill in the broader picture that the X post only hints at. Atomic Chat positions itself as free, local AI, open source, zero cost, and private by design. The site says you can browse more than 1,000 models and emphasizes that everything stays on your device. The repo adds more technical context. It describes Atomic Chat as an open-source ChatGPT alternative that can run local LLMs or connect cloud models, with an OpenAI-compatible local API and MCP integration for agent workflows. That matters because the X post is really selling one narrow thesis: local Hermes with Gemma 4 on a laptop. The product itself is broader than that. The bigger bet is that local plus agentic plus packaged UX can all live in one app. The strategic read is simple. Local models are being repackaged from hobbyist tools into consumer software products. For a long time, local AI was mostly framed as something you used because you were unusually technical, unusually privacy sensitive, or unusually cheap. Atomic is trying to change that framing. The message is that local can also be polished, approachable, and genuinely useful. That does not mean the cloud is dead. It means the quality bar for local products has moved up. Users now expect setup that feels normal, model management that feels coherent, and agents that could do actual work, not just answer prompts. This demo is short, but it is tapping straight into that shift. So in plain English, what does this post prove? It proves that Atomic Chat understands the skepticism around local agents and answers it in the correct order. First, yes, the hardware is normal. Second, yes, the product is real. Third, yes, there is a setup and config layer that serious users can control. Fourth, yes, the agent can perform a local task instead of just chatting about it. That does not prove full autonomy, and it does not prove every workflow will be smooth. But it does prove something useful. Local agent experiences are getting more packaged, more credible, and more product-like. If that direction keeps improving, a lot more users are going to expect privacy, low cost, and local execution by default. That is the real read on the Atomic Chat demo. It is not just local AI for bragging rights. It is local AI being shaped into a usable agent product. And one last note, ConductorOSS.com works with all coding agents in the current setup, fully local. Repo link is in the flow too.